Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's August 12th, 2016. Alex Rodriguez, baseball superstar, is set to play his last game with the New York Yankees today. What I'm going to show is why he is retiring with the Yankees today. This goes in addition to the video I put out yesterday on why Prince Fielder retired August 10th by the numbers. Prince Fielder's retirement was staged. I'm pretty sure his neck injury is completely exaggerated, if not an outright fiction. The world of professional sports is scripted, and sports fans have a hard time swallowing this pill. But everything is rigged, from the outcomes of the seasons and who is the champions, to who's drafted to these teams, to the dates they retire, to the dates they're traded. Here's another shining example: Alex Rodriguez playing his last game August 12th, 2016. Notice he wore number 13. He's in his 13th season with the Yankees right now. Very special number. If you missed my work on the NBA Finals, I guaranteed LeBron James was going to win the NBA Finals last year in his 13th season. Here's where we want to begin. From today, August 12th, until the beginning of the World Series is 74 days. Very special number to the gang running professional sports. Those are the Freemasons. Masonic sums to 74. Jewish sums to 74. New York Yankees sums to 74. The Yankees lead all of Major League Baseball in World Series wins. They've won 27. MLB in Gematria equals 27 for Major League Baseball. 27 outs in a game. It's all symbols. It's all by the numbers from the time of Babe Ruth and before that up to the present. Real quick, with the approaching World Series, I also want to show you what's interesting about A-Rod from the beginning of the season till his last game being today. From April 3rd, the date the season began, until today is 131 days later. And 131 is the championship number. When you write out World Series, it sums to 57. When you write out 57, it sums to 131. When you write out championship, it sums to 131. When you write out Super Bowl, it sums to 131. Last year in October, I was saying that the Super Bowl was rigged for the Denver Broncos. I was pointing out things such as Peyton Manning's story on ESPN about 57 kids from Indiana named after him. ESPN kept their story up on their website for much of the NFL season. It was a minute 31 long. The Broncos had last won Super Bowl 33 on January 31st, 131. Osweiler was the 57th pick for them. One other quick note. The New York Yankees, they played their first game April 5th. Their home opener got rained out. It was against the Astros. They played the next day, April 5th, and the Astros won. The Astros, 54 years old this year. That date, April 5th, can be written 5/4. Baseball in Gematria equals 54. From that game, April 5th, the Yankees opener, until August 12th is 129 days. The birth name for A-Rod is Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez, Gematria of 129, just like America. Again, baseball, America's pastime. And just in case you're new here, I want to just show you this Gematria calculator to make things a little more simple to understand. Baseball sums to 54. Important number in the coding of the sport. The league, Major League Baseball, plays a 162-game MLB season, and the reason this has been done is because of Gematria. I'm telling you, everything in the world of sports is scripted by the numbers, and Gematria is largely the basis for a lot of it. Major League Baseball, 162. In English Gematria, MLB is also 162. Notice that MLB, again in simple English Gematria, is 27. The Yankees have won 27 World Series, leading the league. If you saw my video on Prince Fielder, we talked a lot about the number 52. Texas Rangers 52, Prophecy 52. The head coach's name equals 52. He's 52 years old. We're going to talk about how A-Rod's retirement syncs up with the Rangers, who he came over from Rangers to Yankees back in 2004. Whole lot of Gematria in baseball. So anyhow, again, A-Rod, he has retired 131 days from the start of this season, 74 days before the World Series, numbers of significance. New York City's on the 74th meridian, very special number, very special city. Think about this nation's birthday, 7-4, holiday in gematria equals 74, Independence Day equals 74. George Washington celebrated the first Thanksgiving. Abraham Lincoln made it a holiday exactly 74 years later to the day. When A-Rod first joined the Yankees coming from the Rangers, it was February 14th, 2004. And that date is a date with 41 numerology. A-Rod is currently 41 years old. The number 41 is the 13th prime number. Prime numbers are only divisible by themselves in 1, meaning only 41 and 1 divides into 41. It's the 13th prime number. A-Rod number 13 in his 13th season with the Yankees, retiring just after turning 41. His birth name, Alexander Rodriguez in gematria, you lose the Emmanuel part, also sums to 99. When you write out 13, it sums to 99. Very special number. I just put out a video on the US dollar bill and the significance of this symbolism, 31, 41, or not 31, 41, 99, 13, and more. Check out that video. Very important video. Information you've never learned about the dollar bill anywhere else. And hopefully that'll change, because I do all this work with the hope of it spreading to others. You know, this information needs to go viral. People need to wake up. A-Rod just turned 41 July 27th. 41, the 13th prime. I was reading about A-Rod's first season with the Yankees, and what stood out to me is that he finished with 106 RBIs and 112 runs. I've been talking about how games are scripted to the point. Players' stats are scripted to the point to foreshadow something in the future. This is the year of the 112th World Series. Prince Fielder just retired by the numbers 10 weeks and 6 days before the start of the World Series with $106 million owed to him, largely by the Tigers, who are connected to the prophecy of the Cubs known as the curse of the Billy Goat. I really don't think A-Rod's stats with 106 RBIs and 112 runs were arbitrary from that year. I think that was a scripted total foreshadowing this season, where he's now retiring just 74 days as a New York Yankee before the start of the World Series. And based on my current research, I'm starting to favor the Rangers more than I did the Astros at the beginning of the year. The Astros could still make it, but I like to take the information I'm seeing, and a lot is starting to make sense for the Rangers, especially all the 52s with the team right now. Prince Fielder just retired while his father is 52 years old as well. I know it's a lot to wrap your head around, but all these things can be done. They're all within the realm of possibility, and what I've shown over the years with all the sports, people should be taking notice and paying attention, not dismissing. So many people want to dismiss truth. I noticed last night's game, August 11th, 2016, typically the 223rd day of the year, Masonic and Jewish gematria is 223. The score finished 4-2, and the word Freemason equals 42, so does the name Alex. This is Alex's second to last game with the Yankees. His last will be tonight. We'll see what he does. He's currently sitting at 696 home runs. 69 is the number at the top of the Masonic arch. Freemason equals 96. You can see that within his home run total, 696. The word Freemason, the small way, 42, the big way, 96. You add the divisors of 42, they sum to 96. This year, the All-Star game was at Petco Park, and the final score was 4-2 as well, I noticed. Freemasons always doing their coding. Last night, the Yankees earned their 58th win of the season, Freemasonry 58. Special number to the gang, Secret Society 58. Might all be part of one big Masonic tribute for the farewell of A-Rod by the numbers, and it most likely is. And for you sports fans, here's just a little bonus with 13. Last night I turned on Hard Knocks, the new HBO show, and they were talking about Aaron Donald. The narrator for the show said this might be the best player nobody's ever heard of. And they talked about how he was the 13th pick of the 2014 draft, and he wears the number 99. His name is Aaron Donald. Wears number 1999 13th pick by the St. Louis Rams, who were once from Los Angeles, who are back in LA. LA in gematria is 12 plus 1, another 13. There's so much of this in the world of sports. Players being named accordingly, wearing the numbers that sync up with their name gematria. Go back and watch my video on the World Series last year. Pointed out all sorts of examples of this. And last year, again, in spring training, I predicted the Mets would be in the World Series. A lot of people said that was a crazy pick. I said so because New York equals 111. It was the 111th World Series. This year, it's the 112th. Houston is the only city that sums to 112. Houston, though, is also where the manager of the Rangers is from. If the Rangers end up making it instead of the Astros, remember that. Might all be a big tribute to the 52-year-old manager of the Rangers. In my description, I'm going to link the video from last night that I put out about the retirement of Prince Fielder, how that synced up with the death of Prince, what the death of Prince has to do with the 112th World Series. He died on the 112th day of the year at age 57. Again, World Series equals 57. Last year, after the conclusion of the World Series, 57 days after it ended, Dave Henderson died at age 57. The name Henderson in gematria sums to 57. His last team he played for was the Kansas City Royals, who won it. Lots of information on this video channel if you want to take the time to search and learn. Until next time, True Seeker, just thought of something interesting. When LeBron James won the NBA Finals, the date was June 19th, 2016. That was a date with numerology of 41. The word king in gematria equals 41. LeBron won on the real King James's birthday at the end of his 13th season. From that day until A-Rod's retirement is 54 days. And again, baseball in gematria equals 54, as does Oracle, having to do with future telling. The Cavs won Game 7 of the NBA Finals in Oracle Arena, where the home winning streak was snapped at 54 games, a record at Oracle, 54 games. That same night, the Cavs got their 54th win of the season. I made a video that night showing the team that the Warriors lost to, the Celtics, and the team the Cavs won against for their 54th win, the Hawks, had met in an NBA championship decades earlier by a similar set of numbers. And I said this is more foreshadowing of the Cavs winning the NBA Finals this year over the Warriors. So, why would there be a tribute from basketball to baseball? Well, we're talking about major sports run by the same networks. We're talking about superstars in their respective sport. A-Rod was considered the greatest baseball player. LeBron, the greatest basketball player still. There's also a major ongoing narrative that seems to say LeBron James will end up in New York City as a member of the Knicks at some point. And he just signed the 3-year deal. He can get out of that contract after 2 years. If he were to do that, he would be 33 years old. That might be the ideal time to transfer to New York. I have a feeling the Cavs will go to the NBA Finals and possibly win next year. Maybe go to the Finals yet again the year after, lose, and then LeBron looks for something new. New York City. Remember, the gang is scripting events for tributes oftentimes that are years and years away. Last year, Super Bowl 50, what did I say months before? I said the Broncos played against the 49ers in Super Bowl 24 and lost 55-10. Last year, the Broncos were 55 years old, so was John Elway, who lost in that Super Bowl. They played in the Super Bowl hosted by the 49ers, who they lost to 55-10, 26 years earlier. And what did they do? They won with 24 points. Not a coincidence. Super Bowl 24 was scripted, just like the rest of them. It foreshadowed what was going to happen in Super Bowl 50 when the Broncos were 55. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.